Hey guys, so I got COVID-19 and my main symptoms were chills. I felt very cold at times. Sometimes I'd feel really hot. I also had kind of like a dull headache. I had joint pain. So it's interesting because I had worked out the day before and at first I thought that I had delayed onset muscle soreness, but it just seemed to be a lot more than normal, and it lasted for several days. And, I also had, just fatigue in general. So I had fatigue. And so in this video, I'm going to go over what I did to get over it. Now, many of you guys probably want to know what products I took, things like that. But due to the FDA, FTC, they weren't happy with me when I wrote several articles all about prevention steps and strategies you could take to support your immune system. So I've been told to not talk about any sort of products, and so all I'll do is I'll just mention nutrients that I took and food strategies, nutritional strategies, and then you can go from there to do what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying also that what I chose to do is a cure for COVID-19. I don't think there is like a full-on cure. Or that it's even going to prevent you from getting the infection. In fact, I think that actually getting the infection itself is not a bad thing. You actually develop immunity to it, just like you've had hundreds of different infections throughout the course of your life, and your immune system adapts. It gets stronger through that stress. Our immune system is really a muscle, and just like we need to train our muscles, right? So today I was lifting weights for my upper body. While I was lifting weights, I was putting tremendous stress on my muscles. In fact, if you took my blood work in the middle of that workout, it would look like I had a heart attack. But we know that once I finish the workout, my body starts recovering, it gets stronger and more resilient. Well, it's kind of the same thing with the immune system. The immune system, when it has different pathogens it has to deal with, it can be nasty at times, right? And create a lot of inflammation, but it gets stronger and more resilient to stress afterwards. And that's really what happened for me. So I had these symptoms and it lasted about 3 days. I was still able to work, but I did rest more. And I also spent a lot of time in my sauna. I had chills. And so anytime I get sick, I like to use heat therapy. So I got into my sauna. I spent a lot of time in there. I probably did 4 sauna sessions for roughly 20 to 30 minutes each day, right, for those 3 days. So equivalency of like 12 different sauna sessions. And roughly, I guess that would be about 2 hours a day, so about 6 hours in the sauna, just spread out throughout the course of the day. Now, of course, I also hydrated really well. I got electrolytes in, I took salts, I ate very light. And so for me, whenever you get sick, I really think it's a good time to do fasting or liquid nutrition, things that like a partial fast with maybe bone broth. Maybe you can make like a chicken soup or something like that. You don't want to eat real heavy foods because that actually weighs down your immune system. It takes energy away from your immune system. So you want as much energy as possible going into your immune system so that way it can fend itself off properly. So by consuming less food and food that's easier in your digestive system, like really well cooked vegetables or soups or stews, that takes stress away from digestion and towards immunity and healing and repair. So I ate very light. I didn't work out on those days. I walked. I kept moving. I just didn't lift weights on those days. And I hydrated really well. I did bone broth. I did garlic, onions. I drank a lot of different herbal teas, particularly things like echinacea, elderberry, immune supportive types of teas that I was drinking to help basically give my immune system an extra boost. So I did that. I was in the sauna. So those were like some of my main core strategies that I utilized. I went to sleep early. Really good quality deep sleep is so important for the immune system. That's really when the immune system drives up its energy. And when you're sick like that, it's hard to sleep well, right? You get a lot of disturbed sleep. And so I just tried to be in bed more, right? So I went to bed typically around 9:30, and then I would sleep usually till 7. Now, normally I'm in bed at like 10:30, and I sleep till typically wake up around 6. So I let myself sleep an extra hour, and then I tried to be in bed well before 10, usually around 9:30. So spending a lot of time, just resting and in bed. But, when I got going throughout the day, I really was still working, still productive. And then I would just take breaks so I could go and use my sauna And if I needed to take a nap, which I did most of those days, I took 30-minute, 45-minute rest, right, nap during the course of the day. Now I wasn't working out, so I saved time as far as that goes, but I did try to take walks around my block and play with my kids and things like that. So that's basically the extent of it. Now as far as supplements go, when it comes to immunity in general and things that I was personally doing, vitamin D was important. I was doing high doses of vitamin D, so roughly 50 to 100,000 international units I was doing personally. Now, again, this is not medical advice. You need to talk to your doctor, your practitioner. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just telling you things that I did. So for the internet police out there, I just want you guys to know I'm not giving medical advice on this. That would obviously be FDA, FTC, a violation of the FDA, FTC. And I know that because I've gotten warning letters, unfortunately, last year in 2020 for putting out content that I thought was helpful to people with COVID-19, but the FDA and FTC did not think it was helpful. They thought that I was misleading people. So I want to make sure this video is not misleading you. So again, any sort of recommendations I give are just things that I personally did. And it's just my personal journey. So vitamin D, I was doing high doses. Zinc, I was doing high doses. Vitamin C, I was doing high doses of that. And I like, either like a really good whole food vitamin C or vitamin C with bioflavonoids, which works really well. I was also doing quercetin and I was doing resveratrol, which are really good as zinc ionophores. We know that zinc helps shut down viral replication. Right? So viruses are intracellular parasites. So they go into cells and then they interact with the RNA and then they spill out their RNA and then they replicate through the cell. And so oftentimes they'll combust cells and they'll replicate with cells. So you got to shut down the replication process of the virus. And so that's what zinc does. Zinc is amazing as far as inhibiting viral replication. Now the key is to get zinc into the cell. And that is where some of these nutrients like quercetin tends to work really well, and resveratrol. Both of those actually help to make the cell, the gradient for zinc to get into the cell easier, right? So they're called a zinc ionophore. They help move zinc into the cell. You may have heard of like a drug called hydroxychloroquine, right? That apparently, we're not supposed to really talk about, but that was kind of the idea of hydroxychloroquine as well. But there's natural things like quercetin and resveratrol. So I was taking really good doses of that. They're very anti-inflammatory as well. I also had this muscle pain, right? So just to reduce inflammation in general, I was taking proteolytic enzymes as well as curcumin, and I was also taking boswellia, right? And so I was taking a product that kind of had a lot of combination of these types of things. And so that all helped to reduce inflammation in my system. And then, again, I was supporting my immune system. I was eating very light, doing a lot of things like garlic and onions, which are very, very antiviral. So trying to include a lot of that into my diet, vegetables, but again, I was eating very light. So bone broth, trying not to eat anything heavy and having like a big heavy meal, because that would actually inhibit my immune system from functioning well. And it's also very important to reduce sugar and carbs. We know that when your blood sugar goes up, like up to 120, okay, so blood sugar of 120 reduces your immune system's ability to stop viruses and bacteria by 75%. So you actually cripple your immune system when you do that. So it's really important to try to reduce that and avoid that. So if you're not feeling well, a really good thing to do is to fast or do a partial fast, like a bone broth fast or something like that. Of course, you can check out my book, The Fasting Transformation. I'm a huge advocate of intermittent and extended fasting. And again, when you're not feeling well, great time to go on a little fast or a partial fast so you can get better quicker. So again, those were really my main strategies. That's really what I did. And I was able to work through it. It was uncomfortable, certainly, just feeling, just sore. And that obviously stopped me from working out because I just felt sore and I knew my body needed more rest, less stress, more rest. So I didn't work out for those several days, but really by day 4, so I started noticing the symptoms really on a Monday. So when I woke up Monday, and then I was working out again on Thursday, right? Really more or less up to my normal strength. by Thursday. So I felt a lot better within 4 days. Now, fortunately for me, I didn't lose my smell. I use zinc on a regular basis. A lot of people are losing their smell and their taste. That's typically a sign that they are zinc deficient. And a lot of people are very low in zinc to begin with, and then they encounter a virus, a real pathogenic virus like COVID-19, and it just depletes them of zinc and they lose their sense of smell. So there are things you could do like red light therapy, kind of directed up into your nose, which actually can help enhance the sensitization of those nerve cells and help them heal faster. You can do different things like that. Nebulizer, you can nebulize glutathione, right, which can help get that sense back. Also, if you have COVID-19 or any sort of respiratory infection, nebulizing like silver or nebulizing hydrogen peroxide or something like that can actually be really helpful as well, because that's going to, it's very antimicrobial and antiviral and support your immune system, and you want a good nebulizer that kind of goes over your face. You guys can check out, I have another YouTube video where I go over really how to do nebulizing. But that's a great strategy. I fortunately didn't have any upper respiratory types of symptoms, so I didn't need to worry about that. Really, it was more so just the muscle pain, the fatigue that I noticed, and the chills, right? Just feeling really cold at times. So I was wearing layers, and again, I was like really craving getting in my sauna because it was winter time. It's cold anyways, and then I was feeling the chills. So I just did the heat therapy, right? So that heat therapy is so good for your immune system. Really drives up white blood cell production and the immune system's ability to hunt down pathogens, to stop viral replication. And then of course you're sweating too. So the sweating itself helps eliminate toxins in your system. Those toxins can be, they can help drive up more inflammation. So that helps reduce inflammation, helps improve circulation, lymphatic drainage, which helps move out damaged immune cells. So really big fan of that, doing some sort of a heat therapy like that. And again, really focusing on sleep, eating, again, like I talked about, partial fasting or fasting in general, all really good strategies. Taking different immune support nutrients can be really helpful. So that's basically what I did. And so hopefully this helps answer questions. I know I've been getting a lot of questions about this. So hopefully this helps answer questions as far as how I personally dealt with COVID-19. I hope that if you do get it, that you have a really good experience with it, and that you're able to share what you learned with other people. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do, and hit the bell button. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video, so you never miss this critical information. Thanks guys, everybody be blessed, and we'll see you soon.